Why, hello ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another Tasman vlog. Sorry, I had to think about when I was actually doing it. Right, so if you follow my vlogs, you would have noticed in one of my previous videos I done a video on my car which had issues. This is a follow-on to that one. I'm not going to make this too long because I'm using an old handheld camera and an old tripod, and I don't want the quality's never usually the best out of this, but I will give it a try, see what I can do. But basically, since then I've had an issue with my bottom radiator pipe, so we're going to fire that on. Well, fire it up. I'm going to try and do a bit more of a detailed tear down on the front bumper, grille, things like that I've done in the last one. Show you what I'm on about. But remember, people, not all the nuts and bolts and things like that I'm taking off are going to be the same on your car because I've had to replace some of them. So bear that in mind. But today we are using a more reduced selection of tools because I know a bit better what I need. So there's that. Plus I do have my drill, which should help out with a lot of these. So in saying that, jump cuts getting put in. Let's get started. Right, hopefully you can hear me alright. If not, I'll need to try and fix that in editing. But as you can see, here we are out. We've got the hood up in the car. Not going to waste too much time doing this, so hopefully, sorry about that wee jump cut. So like I was saying, we'll get fired in, get it sorted and see how we do from there. Right, so first thing you're going to want to do if you're going to do this is the grill here with the VW badge on it is the two hex screws, one here and one over this side. So we'll get them out and then we'll come back. Right, so now that the grill's off, as you can see here, we've got the bolts down here. These are some of the ones I had to personally replace, and the one up here. Now, I've replaced them with 10mm bolts, so those four need to come out. And then there's two hex screws, well, 2 or 3 hex screws under each wheel arc, same as them, which are P30s on my one at least. So I'll get all them off and then we can take the bumper off, and I might come back before we carry on. So, jump cut. Right, I apologise for the shakiness, I don't have the tripod on anymore. But as you can see, we now have the front bumper off. Now one thing I'm going to say is, if we spin around here, if you see these wee plastic catches here and here, when you take the bumper off, they unslide from here and here, no, not there, there, on the mounts for the car. Now comes the radiator, because we don't need to take any of that off really to get into the radiator again. So that's as far as we really need to go, apart from a few things, which are, now if we look down the bottom there, that pipe there is the one giving me the issue. As you can see, is not actually connected, well hopefully you can see it if I can get an angle, to the radiator. So how do we get the radiator out? Well, first things first, we need to take this pipe here off, which is just a spring clip under there. Maybe see it better through here. You can't really see it, but it is there. Just a pair of pliers, pull that off. And these wee plastic clips here, which again are really easy. I'll just show you quickly on that one there how you take them out, and then we'll put in another jump cut and show you what happened. Well, if I can figure it out. Said yep. Just do that, pinch them, pull them up. We'll sort it, because that wee clip is what holds that pin in that hole. Right, jump cut. Yeah, so there we go, that's what's got the radiator off now, just slipped out the bottom and pulled it round. Just notice there's a fair few marks on that were not caused by me. Now going from left to right, the right hand side's the bottom radiator pipe when it's on the car, and what they don't tell you is on the pipe and on the bottom of the radiators there's like slots and clips, fuck it, we'll call it clips, that the pipe slides onto, and if they get warped they stop the radiator pipe going on properly, which is what's happened here. So let's see what we can do. Right then, so here we are again. I'm going to apologise now because the volume's probably jumping up and down. But that is the pipe off the bottom of the radiator. As you can see on the left and the right, there is the two grooves for the placements to be put in. Now apparently if any of that's got any dirt in it at all or on the outside, it will not sit back in properly. So I've cleaned it all out as best I can, and here's hoping it goes back in. I'm not going to show putting it on because I'm going to be down there on the ground and the light is really bad, so it's just not going to show anything. And if you're wondering, yeah, I took the radiator fan out just for the ease of getting to that pipe. So it's only 4 Allen bolts, so it might be worth it giving a try. And I have cleaned up that attachment as well, so here's hoping. Right, so here we are, radiator's now back in. And something I forgot to say is these wee rubber washers here, so I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, if they pop out, you take the radiator out, don't worry, they just slot in at the top corners here, and that's where the pin goes in, and there is a guide latch there that just slots in here. Jump cut. So right, a bit of an abrupt jump for this bit. Basically, we did manage to eventually get the Passat rebuilt. What I eventually had to do, because I still couldn't get the radiator pipes to go on properly for me personally, was luckily Kel's dad's a mechanic. He said he'd come up and have a wee look for us. Even he was struggling with it, so don't feel quite so bad about that, because I am not a qualified mechanic. But what we ended up having to do was just put a tiny wee bit of grease on the pipes and they slid straight on, no bother at all. But this might be the last video to do with the Passat. It probably will be if our diagnostic is right. As after we got that, obviously the car was running. I was hoping to get a video on here of the car actually running again, doing something like go pick Kel up from work or something like that. Bear in mind, lockdown and all, or something like that. You know, sorry, random jump cut there. Forgetting what video I'm doing here, and I try not to swear in these, and I did there. I might have bleeped it or jumped it or whatever. But what we did, or what seems to have happened now, is we fixed the radiator, and now the head gasket seems to have gone on it. So it could be the end of the road for that car, and we very well might be looking at trying to get another one sooner rather than later, because I'm actually recording this a wee while after we done the Passat, simply because with the head gasket going, it was a bit of a gut shot. You know, I've just spent quite a lot of money on the car, fixing it up, and then it goes and does that. So we're going to take as it comes, hopefully diagnose it properly before we decide too much too quick. But that's going to take time, with it being sort of Christmas time, things like that. This is all getting done. Not the best weather for A, working on a car, or B, getting folk involved for diagnosing these things. But on another note as well, you might like this, you might not. This could be the last video from me getting recorded on this specific camera, because I do have a slightly newer version of this handheld, which I'm going to start using more. It's got its advantages and its drawbacks, but I do have a plan for this camera, and we'll see how that pans out. So we'll see what happens there. I'll try and keep you up to date with the Passat as well. As I said, unfortunately, this could be the end of the road for it. Not quite sure what I'll be doing from this point forward with it. AKA, is it going to be break it for parts? It might not have a lot of value doing that. There is a lot of them out there doing that. I'll have looked round. Or do I just scrap it? Do I strip the good parts and try and sell them second hand to regain some of my money and then scrap the rest of the car? Right this precise moment, I genuinely don't know. I mean, I could put the car on a bit of private property, take the engine out and use it as, because I'm not a qualified mechanic, use it as a sort of learning car, if that makes sense, you know. I don't know. Right now, I genuinely don't know. If it is the head gasket, though, I'm pretty much going to be trying to recover money, to get a new one, so a lot of it is going to be money orientated at the moment. But anyway, that's your lot for this video. Hopefully I managed to work it alright with pictures and things like that. I did try and show a lot on here of what I had to take off to just do this bit of the car, but how well it's came out, I don't know. I do have pictures on my phone as well. I try to show the nuts and bolts and things like that. So hopefully you've enjoyed it, and I will try and keep up updates coming as much as I can. And like I said, hopefully this will all be getting recorded on a slightly better camera, and I do mean slightly, as obviously they're not as expensive as my big main camera. So out in the rain, that's why the recording actually stopped on this one when it did, as it started to pour down with rain, and I didn't particularly fancy the camera out in the rain getting drowned because it was quite a heavy downpour. So yeah, take from that what you want. Anyway, remember to look after yourselves, guys. Be smart, be safe, think of others, and peace.